Good afternoon, everyone. Getting our sacred smudge going here. It's going to clear our virtual space energetically, and also clean my space energetically too, which I love to do. And I'll be honest, I do a lot of this before I hop on live, but I have found that when I do this, when the virtual space opens up, it creates a much cleaner vibration that is being created in the circle that we're in together as I go live here, and it continues in the replays too. When I go back and I watch um, previous lives and energy transmissions with this cleansing, it stays because there is no time or space. And the energy that is being transmitted today, as soon as you pop into the live, as soon as the live goes live, that energy stays within this circle and waits for you to come back or to jump in and receive it. So we're going to go ahead and today we're going to talk about releasing the negative ego and why that's what it's all about. So today, let's go ahead and start with the energy transmission. And the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to ground with our 3 deep breaths. And this is a tool that you can use at any time, anywhere that you're feeling maybe a little anxious, you want to get connected. It is a wonderful tool to use to connect with your inner wisdom, because what it does is it allows us to move out of the busyness of our conscious mind and into our most relaxed state, out of the sympathetic state into the parasympathetic state, and to connect with our heart. Just checking in, made sure I said that correctly, that our relaxed state, not our anxiety state, between the two. And it relaxes our nervous system, which is really important. So 3 deep breaths. Let's go ahead and begin. We're going to breathe in as deep as we can through our nose. We're going to hold for a moment at the top of that breath. Then we'll exhale for a count of 4, and I will guide you the entire way. So let's go ahead and begin together. Breathing in as deep as we can, and feel free to close your eyes. Breathing in now. And holding and exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathing in again as deep as we can. And holding and exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's breathe in together one more time. And holding and exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. We're going to go ahead and move right into today's energy transmission and sending some focused Reiki over your way, so that we can get you tuned up and ready for the rest of the week. So go ahead and close your eyes if they're not already closed. Lean on back if it's safe to do so in your chair. Of course, if you're out and about and you're catching this and you're driving, keep your eyes open. The energy will still come to you. And be in that place of receiving. My invitation for you right now is to be completely focused on receiving the energy that's coming to you, and to be open to connecting with your inner wisdom, with the wisdom that lives within your body, because that's what we're practicing here. Through the 3 deep breaths, coming into a relaxed state, you receiving an energy transmission, some Reiki, and we'll see what other energy wants to come through today. And then we'll talk about kicking that negative ego to the curb, and why that's important, and why that's what it's all about. So go ahead and lean back. Let those shoulders drop to make sure they're not up by your ears. That they're nice and relaxed. And if you've been sitting a while, let's go ahead and stretch those arms. Maybe you stretch them over your head and out behind you, and whatever feels good. All right. Sending a beam of high vibrational Reiki energy right to the crown. Always starting with the crown in the central channel. And we'll also see what comes up today. While I might have something planned to talk about and something to share that came earlier in the week, sometimes as we're here sitting in the energy, something else pops up. Moving this energy now all the way down to your third eye area. Bringing it down past your ears and your face, down to your throat chakra. Letting this energy that's being beamed to you, being sent to you, feeling it wrap around you like a protective blanket, like an energizing blanket. And for those of you who are very in tune with the physical sensations, feeling that energy just coming right down through your central core, increasing the vibration of all of your chakras. Down past your chest and into your heart space, allowing this energy, this Reiki energy, to fill your heart so that it is overflowing with light. And feeling the sensation of how that cascades outward like rays of sun throughout your body. Really energizing the connection of the throat chakra and the heart chakra. Moving now down to your solar plexus, place of your personal power, your empowerment. And again, having that energy connected with your heart so that your power, your personal power, is connected with your heart as well. Because that's what we're here. That's what we're about here in the Awakened Heart community. The things that we speak and our power coming from the awakened heart, which is also love. Love is the highest vibration, the strongest energy that there exists in this universe. Moving down to your hara, filling up the sacral plexus, your hara, your creative energy, the seat of your sexual power. And again, connecting that with the heart so that power, your creativity, is fueled by that heart space. Because unlocking your unique creative expression is critical to your journey and your path of progression. As well as being in connection with your sexual power and understanding that and using that for good, using that for light, and not using it as a way of control. And all the way down to the root chakra, allowing this energy to spill and move all the way down your legs, through the bottom of your feet, all the way down into Mother Gaia. Literally acting as a channel, connecting with Mother Gaia as well, grounding into her beautiful energy and sending her Reiki energy so that she may also be replenished. All right. And as this energy continues to move through you, as we're here live together, and if you're catching the replay, as we're in this space together, and anytime you come back, this transmission will be here waiting for you. I invite you to open your eyes and be present in the present moment here. And if you have any questions that come up while we're together, or even in the replay, please pop them in the chat so that I can come back and reply. And today, what's coming up is there's a couple of things. Last week, my invitation to you was to be in connection with your sense of touch, and to really think about like the fabrics that we wear and what would come up for you, or if you're driving, the feeling of the steering wheel, or maybe you're out riding a bicycle and the feeling of the handlebars on that bicycle, and just being really in connection with that sense of touch as a way to support you in being in deep connection with your body. And the reason that I continue to bring this up is because being in connection with your physical body is the quickest way that I know that I can teach you to be in connection with your inner wisdom. And it's the tools that I use each and every day to check in with, what does my body want to eat? What's for my best health? And it is the tool that I use when I was going through my cancer diagnosis. When traditional Western medicine had a very specific pathway that they wanted me to go down. And I was in a question about whether or not I wanted to do any of that. And I was really actually coming from a place of my ego, my negative ego. And I've shared this before, where after I received my diagnosis of stage 1 breast cancer and they wanted to do these surgical procedures, my first initial response was like, there's no way I'm doing that. I'm a healer. I channel energy. I have connection to other healers that can support me. I can resolve this and support my body with the foods that I put in my mouth and what I ingest and how I can clear the toxins from my environment. And so I was very much in my head around this. And then one day I had that intuitive hit of like, hey, girl, ask your body what it wants. Because right now your ego is in the driver's seat. And when I went into a deep meditation and I checked in with my body told me very clearly, take it out. And even then, my ego jumped in and was like, are you sure that's what you want? Are you really sure? And my body came back, and my higher self came back and said, do the surgery. And I was really quite surprised, because that is not the path that I thought I would go. And I know that it has served me in my journey. And you get to have your unique journey. So that's why being in touch with our 5 senses, coming here, and getting these energetic tune-ups to support you in raising your vibration is all about connecting you with your inner wisdom, so that you can be making those decisions with unshakable confidence in every part of your life. And today, we're going to talk about how releasing the negative ego is what it's all about. So I'd like you to think about a time where you maybe had an experience like I just shared with you, where you were at work, or you were meeting with your team, or you were at a board meeting, or you were getting ready to launch a new product or service, or you had a health concern like I did, and your mind jumped in and started controlling everything. And maybe you got into a loop of worry. And well, what about this? And well, what about that? And what about if? And what if this happened? And what, maybe I should do this. And as I say, and I like to call it, the hecklers come out, and all of a sudden they're just chat, 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 chat. And as we talked about last week, all of a sudden, all of that anxiety and that second guessing starts to develop into procrastination. Because if I can't do it perfectly, or if it's not right, or if I make a mistake, what will happen then? So if this is something that you can relate to, if you've had this experience in life, please pop in the chat, me too, or share with me a time when you've experienced this. And procrastination and perfectionism often come catapulting into our life. They come trotting in like the hecklers, and they keep us stuck. They keep us from playing the big game that we're meant to play. And what I have found in my experience is that it usually comes in full force when there's a big up level happening, when I'm being called forward to do something really, really big. And I'll talk about these lives here. When I got the intuitive hit to start bringing the Tuesday tune-ups back, to change the format a bit, and to come back live each and every week, to be in each and every week, to be in connection with you, to bring the learnings and the teachings that I got while I'm going through my cancer journey, because it's a continuous journey, that all of a sudden I was like, well, what platform should I use? And how should I set this up? And what about the lighting and the camera and the microphone? And it became really clear that YouTube was the way to go. And I'm like, well, what if I don't get any subscribers? What if nobody what? Da, 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 da. Chat, chat, chat. And hi, MJ. How are you? Yeah, thank you for sharing. I so appreciate that. Great to have you here. And so I really could have gotten into this place of like, oh, I better make sure everything's perfect before I go live. I better make sure each and every week's message is really clear. And I did get into this place, this circular thinking around, well, if I'm only on YouTube, will I be reaching as many people as is best to be out there reaching, so that I can be of the highest service to the light? And in the end, what I did is I just jumped on that first week. And I sent out the reminders to my email list, and I popped something on social media, and I was like, hey, I'm going live, come over and join me. And it's been perfect ever since. The technical pieces I've worked on in between, and I could have completely allowed myself to get caught up in that perfectionism. So the difference is that I took a look at my negative ego, which was really jumping in there and creating procrastination and perfectionism, and shifting out of that to with this question: how can I be in excellence? How can I show up in excellence so that I can be of the highest service and continue to move forward on my path of progression, so that I can be of the highest service to the light, because that's what it's all about. So how can I be in excellence? I'm like, well, I have a ring light, so let me pop that on. I have a camera, I'll try that. And if none of that works, if it's a little dark, if the background isn't really well lit like all the other YouTubers, and I make a mistake, it's okay. Because the most important thing I can do is to prepare myself energetically to be here live with you, and to trust and have faith that as a Reiki master, as an initiate in the lineage of King Solomon, as a certified life activation practitioner, and as a certified health and life coach, going through 3 years of transformational leadership coaching, all of these tools, everything that I've done in life, everything that I bring to the table, that's all going to serve you. And to have faith and trust in that, so that I can just be here, and the way that I'm being, and the way that I'm showing up, and the energy that I'm transmitting to you, that is all in excellence. So I do my homework, and I take about 4+ hours to prepare and ground and create an energetic space for us to be together, even in this virtual world. So that's what I mean about being in excellence. What are the things in my control that I know that I can do? Having trust and faith, and remembering all that I have gone through and every experience that I've had in life is here to be of service to you. So I'm going to check the chat because I see it moving. So give me just a quick second. Hey, MJ, thanks for popping in here. Oh, thank you. And you are awesome. And we so appreciate the time you take with us. Well, I love being here. So thank you. Thank you for being here too. I appreciate your time. So that's what I mean about the negative ego. And I have countless examples of this in my lifetime, because I'm also a bit analytical, and I can get stuck in that pattern too, or I can get into over analysis. Well, what's the right way to do things? And well, what about this? And let me read this book, and let me watch this video, and that's also the negative ego popping in and going, hey, if it's not exactly perfect, then you shouldn't do it. Now, that's not to say that preparation isn't important, because it is. And doing some research is important, because it is. However, getting stuck in that cycle is what keeps us playing a small game. And you, my love, are a goddess God walking on this earth, and you are meant for so much more. You are meant to have the healing to ensure that the past is released and transmuted so that you can create a trauma-free legacy. You are worthy and deserving of that, my love. And coming here each week and bringing your questions, bringing your heart, and being in a place of receiving is the most perfect way to start. So as I'm speaking into this, if you're having questions, please pop them in the chat, because this time together is also about live coaching, just to give you a taste of what coaching can really be like. Maybe you've never really experienced that before. And obviously, my style of coaching and the way that I coach is completely different than anybody else's. So I want to open this door so that we can be in connection and we can get to know each other and be in co-creation together so that you are feeling fueled up and supported as you move along your path of progression. The other number one thing that I can suggest, and that I know from my own experience, is the great way to releasing that negative ego is to focus out. And what I mean by focusing out is being of service. So I invite you to check in with yourself and to see where you feel anything in your body, if you feel anything in your body. When I use the word service, what comes up for you? What does that mean to you? So go ahead and pop in the chat. What comes up for you when I use the word service, being of service, being in service? And what does that word mean to you? I'm going to give it a moment before I share, because I certainly had some stories around the word service. And I didn't really get the phrase, when in doubt, focus out, for a long time. I'm going to share about that here in a moment, but I want to give you an opportunity to pop any questions and to share what's coming up for you. So those of you catching the replay, same question. What's coming up for you around the word service? And what does it mean to you? And if you're shy about being the first to pop in a comment, that's okay. Just jump in when you're ready. So let me share what I immediately thought of when I thought of service. I thought of volunteering, giving my time for free. And I've done that a lot in my life, especially when I worked in the music industry. There were countless times that I was asked to come to an event or to do production or create an art installation or curate art. And when I first started in the music business, I did a lot of stage managing. I was on the stage, and I cannot tell you how many times I got a request. Hey, would you come help us with this fundraiser? We're asking everyone to donate their time. We're asking for everyone to be of service. So I really began to equate volunteering my time for no compensation to being equal to service. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's the story that I created. I'm going to pause here because I see that MJ, that you've responded. So let me share. I feel like being in service is giving whatever it is that you have to give to others. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Not just money, but time and love. People can only give what they have. Oh, MJ, it's like you're reading my mind, lady. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. We can only give what we have. And one of the reasons that I've been given the mission to awaken 1 million hearts is so that we can all come together and be in that place of giving our love, of giving our awakened heart. And it got to start with me. So yes, we can only give what we have. Thank you. So again, I had this story around, well, being of service just means giving my free time. And I did a lot of that. And I've done a lot of that. And I've done a lot of fundraisers to support the homeless in both Boston area and the San Diego area. And that was really fruitful. And so my invitation for you is to really dig into, what does service mean to you? Because right now, Where I've come to in the last really month and a half is a deeper unveiling of what service means to me. And I'm going to share that here with you. What that means for me is being in total service to the divine, total service to the goddess, total service to the light. And when I am focusing out, like being here on our Tuesday tune-ups and offering that which I do have to give, my awakened heart, my love for you, the energy that I am trained to channel, the coaching that I have gone through years and years and years of breakthrough coaching, how I have experienced life-changing traumatic events, a highly publicized mass shooting. I am a survivor of the Las Vegas mass shooting. I was working during that event, and my journey to get to the other side and to be in healing from that, receiving a cancer diagnosis at the end of last year, which completely surprised me. And a few weeks into that diagnosis and walking through that journey, losing our mom having a stroke, and it ended up being debilitating. And she transitioned to the next plane of existence. So there's an awful lot that I have gone through. And this is how I can be of service to you. This is how I can be of service to the light, because all of those experiences create and have caused me to be on my path of progression, because I am absolutely ferociously dedicated to the healing journey, to healing my past so that I can build a trauma-free legacy, and to bring you along with me, to support you in healing your past, to create your legacy filled with light and filled with your love and filled with all that you do have to offer in this world. And looking at those really interesting things that have happened in life. Ancestral healing is a critical component to bringing forward a legacy filled with love and light. And when I use the term love and light, I'm not using it in a fluffy, new agey love and light kind of way. I'm talking about the highest vibration, the vibration that Jesus the Christ, Yeshua, came to this planet of existence to bring that notion, that learning, that teaching into our consciousness, into the collective consciousness, so that we could actually connect with that vibration. That historical figure, Jesus, merging with the Christos energy to bring that high vibrational love. That's what I'm talking about. The most powerful vibration that we can access, and awakening our heart so that we can be walking that way in our path. That doesn't mean that we get walked over or we don't have boundaries, because we do, and we get to do the work. And when I use the term light, I'm talking about the highest vibrational, the light that's connected with the divine, the light that comes directly from Goddess God, that is also embodied in who we are. And when we're in connection with the love and the light that is available to us, and we're healing the past, receiving energetic tune-ups, working on focusing out and bringing that which we do have into life out into the world, and getting ready to play a much, much bigger game, then we're operating on all cylinders, and the universe can conspire to bring us everything we need in this life. So kicking our negative ego to the curb, releasing our negative ego, is what it's all about, so that we can see the tree through the forest. We can cut through that split pea fog and see the light at the end of the tunnel, and get crystal clear on what it is we're meant to do in this world, and to be in complete and total service to the light, fueled with love in our awakened heart, and completely embodying our inner wisdom. So let me just check, because MJ, I see that you also chatted. I should probably just leave my readers on here. Yeah, not just money. Yeah, people. Okay, I thought you had something else here too. So that's what I have to share today. That's what was coming through really powerfully, making sure that the invitation to take a look at service and how we can focus out and how being in that place of focusing out, especially when our negative ego might be chatting in our ear, trying to keep us stuck, how we can say, whoa, time out. What's something that I can do right now in this moment to change the channel on all of that chatter and get to a clearer channel and do something that's of service? It could be picking up a piece of trash that you see while you're out for your afternoon walk. It could be calling up someone that you haven't spoken to in a long time and they just need to hear from you. And your call is going to change their day. Maybe it's a family member that's really hard for you to pick up the phone and call for whatever reason, whatever your story is around that. There are so many ways to focus out. Volunteering is definitely one of them. And if you're in a position where you're financially able to contribute, picking your favorite charity and making a contribution for 5, 10, 15, 20, $5,000, whatever it is, focusing out for a moment or going online to see where you can volunteer for the Chamber of Commerce, for a women's center, a men's center, for a center that rescues pets, and maybe donating an hour of time a week. And then coming back and seeing how clear you are and how all that chatter from the negative ego has just gone away. All right, my loves, how can I support you? What questions do you have, or comments or shares? Go ahead and chat. Pop them in the comments section, and this is your time to share and ask anything that you might have to ask. So I'm going to give it a few moments. I'm going to watch the chat over here, and we'll see what comes through. And again, if you're catching the replay, same thing for you, because I do get those notifications that you've left a comment so that I can come back and be in connection with you and be in support of you. And it's actually a gift to me for you to ask me a question or for you to share, because it allows me to focus out. How about that? You generously sharing and vulnerably sharing is also you focusing out. When you share of yourself, it opens the space for someone else to feel courageous to share as well. And whatever you have to share, whatever you've experienced, I guarantee there's someone who's experienced something, maybe not exactly the same thing, but something very similar. And in that moment when you share, they're feeling connected to you. All right, my loves, that is going to wrap it up for today. I so look forward to catching all of your additional comments and shares as this video wraps up and becomes in replay. I am wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. I am loving you passionately, and I'm so thankful to be here with you. Thank you for your time, and let's do this.